Hello, my name is Dorothy Henderson. I am in a counseling skills and technique course at LaTurna University. This disclaimer is as follows. This is for a role play assignment only. This is not an actual counseling session. The presentation will begin now. Hello, Charlotte.
How are you?
I'm great. It's nice to see you here.
Thank you, too.
What brought you here today?
Well, I've been having some issues lately. I'm living in this, I guess this really old house that's been converted into a triplex, just a little small efficiency apartment. And I'm raising my little 3-year-old granddaughter. So we're living in this little small place, just enough for us. But unfortunately, it's in like a college town, so we have a lot of college students that are in the other 2 units. And of course, because there's a little over rent, and this is their first time out, and I've been really having some difficulty because, after school and late at night, they're wanting to have, their friends over and they're playing their music. Well, I've got a 3-year-old at home. I've got to get up and go to work the next morning and get her to bed. And so we have a conflict sometimes with, them wanting to play music a little louder and me wanting to get some rest and her for the baby, so.
Okay. So what I hear you saying is that you are concerned and maybe you are getting a little upset at a group of college students that is living next door to you. And because you are raising your grandchild, which is quite wonderful, that is so nice, and you are having to get up early and you're not getting enough sleep because they are playing their music aloud.
Right.
How does that make you feel?
Well, I'm trying to be understanding. I realize they're college students. They're on their own for the first time.
Okay.
They're away from home, wanting to have a good time. I get that. But I've went down several times and said, I'm sorry. Could you turn down just a little? And they've been very nice, but
so you have taken an initiative to talk with them about it, to let them know how it is affecting you in getting up early, and you feel like that is a step in the right direction to be neighborly and all, and to be straightforward with them. So you are talking to them. That's great. What happened as a result?
Well, and partly I don't know if some of it's just because it's such an old house and there's not good insulation in the walls, but it just seems like the beat of the music just seems to echo and vibrate through the walls, so it keeps you up like that leaky faucet that just like boom, 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 keeps you awake at night. So I've gone down again several times. I said, apologize. I'm really sorry. Could you please, like I said, they've been real nice. Everything's been cordial so far, but it's getting very frustrating when I'm wanting to get some rest. I'm already up with this 3-year-old who takes a lot of energy.
Well, I see, but your hand gestures and your facial expressions and even your eyes, this is really bothering you, and it's getting to the point that it's maybe affecting your sleep. Is it affecting your sleep or anything else?
It does from time to time. Now, there are some nights, of course, where I guess maybe they have studies and they don't.
Okay.
So some nights there is a break, but
great.
But sometimes it's just that dread always of when is it going to start. So you never completely relax.
Never.
Because you feel like what if it's okay now, but what if they come back in.
What happens when you're not completely relaxed?
Well, you just feel like you're always on edge. So you're, with that, with the stress of caring for a grandchild at my age and trying to rest and, and always having that, am I going to be able to rest? Am I going to be able to, it does, it wears on you after a while, the stress of it.
Are you able to sleep? Are you able to get up in the morning to go to work?
Yes. Just some days I get a little more rest than others, but...
do you see that your work is being affected by this at all?
Not yet, thankfully, but, I couldn't predict the future, but not yet, it hasn't. But, I know the earliest I could even get out of my lease to move, because I thought, well, I could move. but I've got 4 more months left. I can't just up and move.
So you're looking at different alternatives to do.
Right.
You're looking at how long you have in your lease.
Sure.
I hear you say that you have 4 more months. So you're considering. Are you considering trying to leave before the 4 months, or are you just
I'd
wanting
considered
to leave
that,
at
but
4 months?
Sure, I considered that, but it would just be too expensive at this time to have to pay the early termination fee plus to put deposits down on a new place and things like that. So I'm just trying to wait it out, but.
Oh, I see. You have really given this a lot of thought and a lot of consideration.
Sure, because nobody just likes to live with that dread all the time of being, I don't want to go home because as soon as I go home, you want to go home to relax at the end of the day. But when you go home, you can't relax because you have all this other stuff that you're worried about,
So it's come to the point that it's worrying you, is what I feel that you're saying.
Mm-hmm, to some degree, yes.
Okay, to what degree do you feel are you having to maybe go to bed early, or are you going to bed later? To what degree?
Usually later, thinking maybe I'll just be tired and I'll just sleep through the music.
Oh gosh.
But like I said, some days it's better than others, but it just sometimes right at this point it just feels like there's just always this in the back of your mind, this dread of, when's it coming,
So I feel that you're anticipating it.
Yes, that's a good word. Yes.
Okay. So what happens when
a negative anticipation?
What is some of the things you do when you're anticipating? Are you?
It almost makes you listen harder, if that's a word, because you know it's coming, so it's like everything is attuned. Mm-hmm. And whereas otherwise you may have overlooked something because you're so in tune, you hear the slightest thing, which just makes the whole situation worse. I mean, it's just I'm gonna be glad when this 4 months is up.
I hear that at least you have outlook that in 4 months I'll either be able to move, or they'll move, or maybe have you considered relocating in the complex, or just moving out of the complex?
It's just a small house that one owner has just converted into these small apartments, so there's no other
alternative for that. So you are considering moving.
Sure.
You have a plan of action, which is excellent. So does that kind of de-stress you?
It does. It gives me kind of a light at the end of the tunnel. It's not something that's just going to be ongoing forever. I've got a solution in mind where it's just a matter of waiting it out and hoping that until then, maybe things will turn out better than I expect to.
So you're staying positive in the midst of all of the anxiety and the
Now you ask me at like 11 o'clock at night, I'm going to have a different attitude. But I'm trying to.
Well, as we talk, your face is brightening up. Your eyes are not as wide, and you seem to be kind of relaxing. Does talking about it help?
It does a little bit, I guess, just because you get to express your frustration and you get to have somebody to hear and to understand what you're saying or to empathize what you're saying, not just, bless their heart, they're college students. They're just like, sure, Mom, whatever.
So are you kind of empathetic with them because they are college students?
Certainly.
And you feel like a motherly figure to...
I do, and that's why I always get, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I know, I apologize. I'm ruining y'all's good time, but please.
So you were apologizing to them for feeling bad at what they are doing.
Because I feel like I kind of moved into their neighborhood even though I was there first. I mean, this is like that. It was set up for college students. I get that now, but it was a really good deal. I just couldn't pass it up at the time. So, but now I know why.
So you plan when you look for another location? Will it be in a college setting or more in a family setting, or will that even play a role in your future?
It will. Yeah, it will probably look for more of an older age group, more peer related maybe, or maybe a single dwelling place. So I wouldn't have to worry about that period, or maybe next door down.
So that seems like you're taking control and you're able to plan, as you're saying. You'll look at a more constructive, family type, quiet neighborhood. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Well, in that planning, do you feel that you and your granddaughter will be able to relax in the next 4 months because you are seeing an end to this tunnel?
I certainly hope so, yes. I mean, of course, she's a baby. She's fine. It just puts me on edge, but
Okay.
maybe she reacts to my stress. But I think so. I think I will feel much more at ease, which can only help her feel more at ease.
Great. So you believe that you're a little at ease
Mm-hmm.
at this
Yes.
point. You know that in 4 months this too shall end,
Yes.
and you're looking forward to new beginnings
Right.
with uh, some joy and some anticipation of a good move that will settle this for you. And
Sure.
okay.
And hopefully, like I said, between now and then, maybe we can come to some mutual agreements that would work out for both of us. So,
So do you plan to, as you say, a mutual agreement? Will you talk with them more?